New Georgia wide receiver Noah Thomas called this guy a problem. Georgia fans think that it's a problem that he hasn't been out on the field. And I don't know if Georgia has a problem at this position or not. I'm talking about Ellis Robinson. I'm talking about Daniel Harris. I'm talking about the cornerbacks at the University of Georgia. Ryan Curley from Dawg Post here. It's been a position battle this spring. Kirby has been pretty open about that. I have some quotes talking about Ellis Robinson, DeMello Jones, Daniel Harris, Dalen Everett, right? What's clear is Dalen Everett is the starting cornerback. He's the top corner, corner one for the Dogs. What hasn't been clear is who's going to be the guy starting opposite of him. Now, you rewind to last spring, last offseason. It was clear Dalen Everett was going to be corner one because he started the year prior alongside Kamari Lassiter. The natural progression was for him to be the top corner. He was the best corner for Georgia. In 2024, there was a competition on the other side of him. It was Daniel Harris versus Julian Humphrey, the speedster Julian Humphrey, who's now transferred to Texas A&M. Well, Humphrey kind of beat out Daniel Harris, and he was a year older than Harris heading into the season. Harris going into his sophomore season. And he was also the higher-ranked prospect, Humphrey, out of the two guys. Well, Humphrey didn't play that well for Georgia. Got burned a few times. Lost some bad battles against Ryan Williams, so on and so forth. And there's kind of some drama with him. Daniel Harris ends up taking over that spot later in the season and becoming a full-time starter. Julian Humphrey enters the transfer portal the week before the SEC Championship. He dipped on Georgia. The rest of the secondary guys were not happy about that. He bounced, and Harris firmly had the cornerback 2 position after that. And then you head into this season. The thing is, Harris didn't play all that great, right? He had some good moments. He had a really good moment against Florida. He got burnt sometimes. It happens, right? Especially when you're in the SEC and you're playing against a lot of really good wide receivers. The thing is, Georgia has some guys that are just ranked higher than him in terms of their high school prowess, right? Harris being a low 4-star in the 23 class. They've got, I think, the top cornerback prospect ever in Ellis Robinson, who this video is partially about. And fans want to see that. They want to see the bona fide 5-star out on the field, the 6'1", right? Daniel Harris has that frame as well. Actually, I think he's a little bit bigger and taller than Ellis Robinson, but they've been competing this spring. And you got DeMello Jones, who's a very versatile player that kind of did it all down in Swainsboro, and Kirby has turned him into a defensive back. He has been competing for that spot. More context. Dalen Everett, labrum, has been limited this spring, didn't play a G-Day, hasn't been playing in these scrimmages, so that's opened up the door for all of these guys to compete and get more reps at that starting cornerback position between Harris, Jones, and Ellis Robinson. Well, Noah Thomas said that Ellis Robinson is a problem. He said he can't wait to see he said he couldn't wait to see Ellis Robinson lock up wide receivers. I'm botching this up. Lock up wide receivers throughout the season. You get the gist. He can't wait to see Ellis Robinson do his thing at corner. And that was a big statement, and not usually one that Kirby and the Georgia program loves hearing when they praise a particular guy, especially when a particular guy is in an open competition for a job. So in terms of the verbiage, Noah Thomas, new to Georgia, you're not going to get quotes like that very often from players, and you got that out of him there, and people want to see that. They want to see the top players play. They want to see the 5-stars get after it. They want to see Elijah Griffin play on the defensive line. So I get it. I get it. In terms of what I saw at G-Day, this is what it looked like. Daniel Harris was firmly in that first team. DeMello Jones and Ellis Robinson rotated at the other corner spot. With Dalen Everett not playing, Harris was out there with the first team all the way until the end of the fourth quarter when they put him in with the second team. DeMello Jones rotated in and out. Ellis Robinson rotated in and out. And Robinson got more reps with the second team, right? Jones didn't get as many reps with the second team from what I watched. Now, they both got in there, but it looked to me like Robinson worked with the second team more than the first team. Now, he worked with the first team just as much as DeMello Jones did, so it's one of those weird rotation things where I wasn't 100% sure what to make of that aspect. In terms of eye test and what I saw at G-Day in particular, Daniel Harris was the best of the three, right? Couple pass breakups, didn't get burnt by anybody, had an interception when Gunnar Stockton tested him in the end zone in a one-on-one situation against jump ball guy Noah Thomas. Daniel Harris won that battle. Now, it wasn't necessarily the best decision or the best pass, but Daniel Harris won that battle and caused a turnover for that first team defense. So in terms of this scrimmage we saw last Saturday, it was Daniel Harris was the best. Now, what's something that Dean and I talked about? Well, there were 2 other scrimmages the 2 previous Saturdays heading into GJ. They just weren't open to the public, right? There's certain insiders that are there. Of course, we're connected to some of those insiders. And the Saturday before G-Day, during that scrimmage, apparently they were testing Daniel Harris a lot and that he was getting burnt. He wasn't playing that well. So it's one of those things where the rotations and what I saw tell me, hey, Daniel Harris is definitely in the lead to be the starting cornerback opposite of Dalen Everett. And the way that they played on G-Day, that told me that as well. But other guys may have played better than him in the scrimmages before that. Maybe not every single scrimmage yielded the same exact result. And there was another scrimmage before that where I don't know exactly how the corners played, but people said that the wide receivers didn't really stand out in that first scrimmage. So maybe that tells us that the defensive backs played well enough. So that's kind of the latest on how that competition is going. I'm going to bring you a quote from Ellis Robinson, and I'm going to bring you a quote from Kirby to just give you a little bit more context of the situation. But in terms of the rotation, what I'm hearing and what I saw, that's kind of how it looks. To me, it looks like Daniel Harris is there and that Ellis Robinson is going to be a rotational corner. He's a guy that's going to get out there, but not necessarily going to be a starter. We saw Daniel Harris rotate in with Julian Humphrey last year. It's not like he didn't get reps. So I think you will see Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones out on the field next season. But right now, if I had to guess, Harris will earn that starting job beforehand. This is the latest from Ellis Robinson. He said, coming in, I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. It's nothing but competition here. Coming in as a freshman, I didn't really get what I expected, but I'm still getting developed. Last year was still a good experience. My hardest lesson was staying patient. I wanted to be out there, but I know my time is coming. I'm just staying patient and trusting the process that the staff has for me. So the young gun who knows, hey, I'm one of the best prospects ever. I'm a guy that can lock down your wide receiver 1. He wants to get out there. He's itching at the bit. Just because he's that doesn't mean he's going to get out there. He's got to show it in practice, and in game time situations, he's got to show it there too. So it can't just all be hype, which for the most part, that's what we've gotten out of Robinson. And I get it. I mean, this is a guy that was up there with Jeremiah Smith in terms of the recruiting rankings a year ago. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State wide receiver, who people think is Julio Jones, and people think is maybe the best wide receiver ever. He was ranked just up there with him. This is what Kirby said about the competition at that spot. And he was asked specifically about Ellis Robinson when he's saying he's talking about Ellis. Yeah, he's playing good. He's practicing good. He's competing. He rolls in there. I think Daniel Harris, and DeMello Jones have all rolled through with the ones with pretty significant time. They're going against some good wideouts. They keep getting matched up against the big guys outside, Kobe Young and Noah Thomas. And even the other wideouts, I'm pleased with where Ellis is. What I like about Ellis is that he competes. He competes for the ball, and it bothers him when people catch the ball on him. So between the Ellis Robinson quote and the Kirby Smart quote, you can confirm that he's got that competitive fire and energy that the Dogs really, really want out there. What we need to know, and what is difficult to tell at this point, is does he actually have it, and is he actually going to perform to what's going to put him out on the field? Noah Thomas said he was a problem in a good way. He didn't say that about the other guys. And we know what people think about Ellis. Is it going to be good enough over summer workouts during fall camp to overtake Daniel Harris, to overtake DeMello Jones? Because look, guys, if he doesn't, there's a reason. And the reason is he's not the best at that time. And he's not what Georgia thinks is the best thing to help them win. That's the truth about it. I brought you everything I know about that right now. Thanks for watching.